Hi, here I am again on this lovely Easter holiday. Happy Easter to everyone, and this is your weekly Soul Wisdom from Connect to Soul with Yvonne Teoh Bource on the week of it's the 2nd of April. I'm recording this on the 1st of April, which was my mother's birthday. You always can imagine what fun that was. Anyway, so happy Easter to everyone. I hope you're having a lovely holiday and having lots of goodies and spending it with lots of family, which is exactly what I've been doing. So I'm feeling very blessed. So today's discourse is going to be very close to my heart. It's probably one of the most powerful ones that I've done, for me, that I've done for some time. And that is to address the subject of self-healing. Of course, my original profession was in the healing, of course, as a trained nurse and working in operating rooms all around Melbourne. So I learned, my apprenticeship, as I always call it, was to know about health and to know and to really recognize what a healthy body looked like inside and out, and also what it looked like when it was unhealthy, which helps me a great deal with my visualization techniques. So today I wanted to address this understanding of the fact that we live in the most miraculous piece of technology that we can possibly dream up of. It is self-healing, and it's self-regulating, and yet we don't trust it. We are constantly in fear of it breaking down. We are constantly interfering with it. And so I thought today I really would like to address this from the perspective of my own experiences. Because I've always believed that this body is a self-healing mechanism. If I cut myself, I expect that to heal. You expect that to heal. Why? Because you've seen it. You've seen the miracle of the body just going, oh, okay, we need to repair that. And it does. It might take a couple of days, depends on how deep the cut is, but it heals itself. Now, why we don't understand that it can do that on the inside where we can't see it, I have never quite understood. I've always believed that if I can stay aligned with my body and listen to it, that I can help it heal itself. But we have interfered so much with our health, with this body, through the foods that we eat, but mostly through our lack of self-belief and understanding of this amazing piece of machinery that we live in. So I thought I would address that today, and mostly because I've over the last 78 years almost, that I have learned that when I came to a health crisis, one of the first things that would occur, that my mind would do, would go into fear. Oh my goodness, my body isn't working for me properly, right? That's probably the first thing we do. We are afraid. We're afraid that we have lost control over this body. The second thing that I would then do is to look at my body and see what was the problem. Now, over the years, I have, because I've worked in the health industry, I've been diagnosed with several incurable things. And I think if you have ever, read my book and my story, or read my story on my website, you will find that I had severe scoliosis and walked with a walking stick by the age of 21. And I was told by my orthopedic surgeons, who, by the way, I was in charge of their operating room, so we were pretty close, and they told me that I would be in a wheelchair by the age of 50. Well, I am going to have my 79th birthday this year, and I'm most definitely not in a wheelchair. I can still walk, 10 to 15 Ks in my walking club, and my spine is straighter now than it's ever been. So I won't go into how that occurred, but what I do want to address is the fact that the body healed itself. I did not have any interfering surgery. I did not have even any physiotherapy, or, this all occurred through the power of the mind, through love, and through changing my beliefs. And that's what I want to talk about today, because I think those three things are what is necessary to support the body in healing itself. So, there's another time when I lost my voice. Now, can you imagine me losing my voice? Well, that would have been a tragedy. And so I went to an ear, nose and throat specialist at the time to have a look at my throat because it just wasn't clearing up. And he said, well, I'm terribly sorry because you've got a large polyp on your vocal cords and that needs to be removed. And the interesting thing about that is the first picture that flashed in my mind was Julie Andrews, who had exactly the same problem and then never could sing again. And I thought, whoa. Now, I also worked in ear, nose and throat surgery, so I also knew what the procedure was, but I could also visualize. I could visualize what the diagnosis was. So I addressed my body, and I remember it was Easter. It was just before Easter, and so there was no way that they could take me into a hospital at that time. But after Easter, I was meant to go and see a vocal coach and do all of these things. And so I had a few days, right? So I went home and I said to my body, you have until the end of Easter to fix this. And what do I need to do to support that? And so I did this amazing inner surgery. I visualized myself going in and doing the surgery rather than the surgeon, because luckily I knew how that procedure worked. And I did it very gently and very carefully and very beautifully. And I remember that it was a party of my youngest son's 21st birthday party, and I was to give a speech. And I had a microphone, and I was really very, very hoarse, as they call it. I was anyhow, so I went to bed that night, and I went, enough is enough. You know how to heal yourself. I need to be able to speak. And I woke up the next morning, and lo and behold, my voice was back. So when I went to see the specialist, and he put a camera down my throat, and he had the vocal speech therapist there to help me, and he looked down in there and he said, well, I can see where it was, but it's no longer there. What on earth did you do? My daughter was with me and she just laughed. So what I want to say to you, and I've done this several times with my health, the thing is that when I first have a discomfort in my body, I do what everybody else does. I go, what's going on? Now, just remember, the moment that you believe that there's something wrong with your body goes into total resistance. Several things happen. You go into resistance. Now remember that every thought that you think and every emotion that you have and every belief that you have affects the chemistry and the cellular structure of your body. So the moment you go into resistance of what the body is trying to tell you, that it has an issue and it needs some attention, we panic and we go, oh, this needs to be fixed, and instantly we rush off to somebody else and say, fix me. But that somebody else isn't living in your body. They don't feel what you feel. They have not got the experiences that you have, and they certainly don't have the emotions that you have. So a pill often adds to the problem. which is a situation that I've just been dealing with this week. And again, I thought, this is just taking too long. I need some assistance. I'll go to a doctor. Doctor gives me a pill, and my body goes, bah! And I had worse problems than I started with. You see, because I've been doing this for so long, but I've always said my margin of error is very tiny. This is not what I'm meant to be doing. I'm meant to remember that I need to just stop and listen. So this whole discourse today is about understanding what it takes to allow your body to heal itself. Now, number one, I think before we do anything else, it takes patience. I'm not a very patient person. So this is a big challenge for me. But hey, I've mastered it. When it comes to my body, I can have patience. All right, so number one is it isn't necessarily going to happen overnight. Although, when I was much younger, I always wished that I had this feeling I had power of magic in me, and I would just be able to touch somebody and heal them. And I would just be able to go, wriggle my nose, and it would all be better. Well, I haven't quite mastered that yet. I do have healing hands, like all of us, but it isn't necessarily instant, because when our body shows discomfort, it is a message. It's a cry. It's like saying, hey, pay attention to me. There is something not working, and you're out of alignment with your body. Now, when I talk about being out of alignment with your body, it means that you're not listening to it, and you're not putting it first. You're not taking care of it properly. So you need to go back and you need to go, what do you need? What does our body need to be whole and to be healthy? It needs us to have a healthy emotional self. It needs us to have a healthy mind. And it needs us to have a healthy belief system. So I listen to many people talking about self-healing and the power of the mind. I love the power of the mind. But there's a little bit missing there, because one of the things that I've learned about ill health is that when we don't feel well and when we get a diagnosis from a doctor from whatever it is, we instantly believe that diagnosis and we start to talk about I have this, I have that, I have that. And listen to the words and see my body movements. I have. Now, all that we're doing is we're actually setting it into stone. And then we expect to heal. If you're diagnosed with something, just say, well, they have diagnosed my body to have this discomfort. See, it's outside of you. But your body is yours, and therefore you need to listen to it, and it needs to have rest, and you need to be kind to it. But we flog our bodies. We expect it to keep going without enough sleep. We expect it to be going when we're overtired. We give our energy away to our family, to our children, to our jobs, and we just keep flogging it, and we just keep thinking, and we put the most awful things into it, and we still expect it to keep working at its optimum. That makes no sense to me. I have a lot of people come to me that have addictions, or that, or they are overweight, or they have something about their body they don't like. And I just simply say to them, if I go out to your car right now and I put caustic soda in the petrol tank and sugar in the oil, how would you feel about that? And their eyes go, why would you do that? And I go, why wouldn't I do that? Well, I mean, you kill the car would not go. No kidding. But we do that to ourselves every day. We don't take care of it. My car, and I love my car, gets serviced regularly, and it takes me wherever it goes, and I can trust it. But this vehicle is my prime responsibility. I need to take care of it. So some years ago, I was diagnosed with having what they call now, flavor of the month, fructose malabsorption. And I went, oh, okay. Now, I wasn't digesting things properly. That was very obvious. But I bought that diagnosis. Even with all the work that I do, my body was in stress, and I bought that diagnosis, and I started to say, I have fructose malabsorption, and I started to see food as my enemy. I hardly ate anything because I kept saying, well, I don't know what's in it. I don't know whether it's going to affect me badly. And of course it did. I couldn't eat anything. It all just affected me badly because I expected to. And then one day I sat in meditation and I was told, you know what the problem with you is that you have been doing this work for so long and you have not put any protection around you, and you just keep absorbing other people's negative energies sometimes, or their worries or their concerns, and you've been too arrogant and too ignorant to clear your aura and to clear it out of your system, and you're full up. Well, the minute that I heard that message, I went, oh my goodness. Do you know, within 2 days, my body is healed because I did something about it. I listened to it and I did something about it. I no longer see food as my enemy. I see food as something that is there to enrich my body, but I'm very careful about what I put in it. And so it is just learning to listen to your body. That is really important. The most important thing, though, for me is the missing link, and that is love. So the minute that you think there's something wrong with you, with your body, you go into resistance. We all do. We go into resistance. And that closes all the cell structures. It changes the chemistry in your mind. And so we look at that part of our body with distaste. It's like, ew, get better. We are so incredibly critical of our bodies. It's not big enough. It's not small enough. It's not the right color. It's not whatever. It's not pretty enough. It's not ugly enough. I cannot understand where people are constantly comparing their bodies to another body. This is the only body you have that gives you life. It doesn't matter what it looks like, as long as you take care of it and love it. And funnily enough, it's what's coming out of your eyes that makes you beautiful, not the structure in comparison to somebody else. You can be as beautiful, as you like, but if you are an ugly person, doesn't matter. So beauty is within. Absolutely, beauty is within. So the missing link in healing your body is love. We don't love it. So when your body is complaining about something, instead of going into resistance and wanting it to go away, we need to embrace it. When you have a child and the child falls over and it cuts its knee, let's say. What's the first thing you do? You rush up and you kiss it better. You put love into it. Darling, it's all right. Mummy will kiss it better, right? We do it naturally. We love it better. But we don't do that to our own bodies, and yet that is what supports self-healing. You need to love the part of your body that is in stress, or the part of the body that is not working to its optimum. You need to love it because it's giving you a message. In my book I talk about how to have a shower, and I've talked about that before. You go into the shower and you put love into the water so that the water will cleanse you beautifully. But you know something? We get up in the morning, we're so busy with what we have to do. So we get in the shower and we get out of the shower and we run. Well, I've got a challenge for you. Instead of doing that, how about you dry your body with love so that you stroke it and you put moisturizer on it from head to foot, stroking it and thanking it for being a beautiful body that is still working for you to whatever level it's working for you. Okay? Just think of Stephen Hawkins. Nothing worked for him except his brain. And look what a gift he was to humanity. You know, but we need to take care of whatever body we have, and we need to do it with love. We need to love our bodies because it's all we have. And it's through that love that you will help self-healing. So 3 things I'm mentioning: power of the mind, love, and belief. So power of the mind is when we decide, we talk about this diagnosis. I have this or I have that. Well, the more that you say that, the more that that's true. Because our thoughts create body chemistry and change the whole, cellular structure that we have. Because the thoughts create the emotion, and the emotion is one of resistance. We don't want it, but we have it, and so we don't like it. So therefore, there is restriction in the body. But if we say, okay, I've been diagnosed with that, but I know my body can heal itself. And then instead of, let's say that you have a sore throat. I'm just taking something, and you say, oh, I have a sore throat. But can you say instead, my throat is a little stressed, but it is strong and it is healthy and it knows how to heal itself. I just need to give it a little time. It's a very different thing. And then you see your throat in your imagination, in your visualization. You see your throat as being beautifully healthy and strong. I have a healthy throat. I have a healthy voice. I have a healthy throat. If you say that, what do you think that's happening to your cell structure? It's going, oh, I have a healthy throat, right? Instead of, I have a sore throat. Which one? You're affirming your sore throat. You're affirming your diagnosis every time you speak it. And we sometimes do it to get sympathy. Oh, I went to the doctor and and he said, I have this, I have that. Oh, you poor thing. And you know what happens? Then everybody you speak to, they're all sending the same energy that fuels the dis-ease you have. Instead of telling everyone around you, you know what, my body can heal itself. Just see me healthy. See me healthy. See me healthy. It's just common sense. We need to learn to use it more. So that's the power of the mind. You need to start speaking the words that you want to experience. I have a really strong, healthy digestive system. That's my mantra, and my body is fantastic. One of the things I don't believe in is getting old or aging while getting older. And I think age is a number. I know all my friends are retired and doing, whatever they're doing. Some of them are doing nothing and some of them are doing a lot. But for me, I just keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I don't think about the number until somebody tells me, and then I go, oh, really? Oh, well. That means nothing to me. I am fit and healthy and strong because I have still work to do. And so I need a strong, healthy body, and here I am. That is the power of thought. Love, as I said before, is you need to love the parts of your body. You need to love all of your body, but particularly the parts of the body that are telling you that it's under stress. You need to love it more, not reject it, which is what we do. Oh, I hate having this. Ugh. Well, think about what happens in your body as you do that. Every cell in your body goes like that. Well, there's no healing possible in that state. Okay? So when you feel something in your body, it doesn't matter how ugly it is or how terrifying it might be, because fear is a big problem. You need to love it. You need to stroke it. You need to visualize that you need to send light and love to it and going, I love you, I love you, I know you can heal yourself, I love you. It is with love that heals, not fear or restriction. And the last one, of course, is belief. You need to change your belief. If you don't believe that your body can heal itself, just, scratch yourself for something and watch it do it. It can, and it does all the time. It is beating your heart while you're asleep. It's breathing you. It's digesting your food. It does all of those things without your interference. So why wouldn't it be able to heal itself? Only because you don't believe it. You think you need to take it to somebody else and they have to fix it for you. Now, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because sometimes you do need some assistance. But the first step for you is to take responsibility for your health, not give that away to somebody else. So that when you have some assistance from a practitioner, a health practitioner, then that practitioner becomes an extension of you. It becomes an addition to you. But when you just give yourself away, that is when you can't heal. I'm not saying that you don't need assistance. Absolutely. Absolutely. But be careful what kind of assistance, and be very careful about the mindset that you have when you go for that assistance. When I go to a doctor, it's usually to tell him what I want him to do. Because I'm not very good at running to a doctor. I run to my body first. I run to my mind first. I run to my belief systems first. And when I've sorted all of those, I then sit in meditation and ask, do I need some assistance? And so then I go, well, this is the assistance that I need. But for me, I'm fortunate because I was medically trained, and therefore I'm very aware of my anatomy and physiology, and also because I have always listened to my body. I'm very conscious of everything that occurs in my body. I can feel it and I'm aware of it. But that also takes practice. It takes a lot of practice. So again, let's go back to what we are talking about here. We can use the power of the mind, so we start talking about the way we want it to be, not the way that we are afraid that it is. We give our bodies lots of love, and we certainly give our discomfort even more love to heal. And then, of course, we need to look at our belief system, and a lot of the belief system is based on fear, and that will take time to change. So I hope that you all really enjoyed this discourse, because it's very, very close to my heart, as of course originally healing has always been at the base of my work, and since I started my work, in my nursing career and ever since. And I've been very involved in healing the body and the mind and the emotions, and so very holistic about this. And I just love it. I love it when I see my body respond. It's like magic, and sometimes, because I forget, like everybody else, I'm human and I forget, and I go, why did I not remember to do that? And the minute I remember, my body responds. And it says, oh, what took you so long? So I'm not going to pull a card today. I'm going to finish off with a piece of prose that I wrote many, many years ago, which again is in my book, The Secret to Life, which, by the way, is available on my website, connectsoul.com.au. And, of course, if you would like a private coaching with me, also that is also available there, or you can contact me on my email, and all the links you can find below. So I wrote this piece many, many years ago, and I thought it was a wonderful way that we could close today, and it's called My Body. As I lovingly tend my body, I become aware that this is my temple. It is the house that I, my spirit, has created in order to have this human experience. I tenderly care for it, keeping it warm and nourished. Listening to its needs, I give it sustenance, exercise, and rest. knowing that I cannot move through this place of density without my body. I love it in every moment, for it gives me the opportunity to be here. When my body and I are totally aligned, we are filled with delight. A feeling of exhilaration bubbles up from deep within, like a spring of eternal joy. I love my body, for it gives me the opportunity of life in the flesh. It allows me to smell the flowers, to taste freshly baked bread, to touch a baby's skin, to hear a babbling brook. This and so much more is my reward for having this body. It is a sensory organ, and how well I love and care for it is reflected in the experiences I have. I am the spirit that has created this body. I love my body. And I love you, and I hope that you love yourself and your body into whole health. It's worth it. Because we all know that when we don't have health, we are not able to enjoy life to the full. I hope you enjoyed this particular discourse, and I would love to hear from you. So please leave some comments, and by all means share this video with your friends. I love talking with you. Have a wonderful remaining of Easter, and I shall see you next time. Namaste.